The last time we checked in with Cramer fave pharmaceutical heavyweight Allergan, the company had just announced that it was merging with Pfizer, what I consider to be a very smart deal. Since then, though, Allergan stock has been slammed thanks to all of the political grandstanding against higher drug prices. However, this morning, Allergan reported a terrific quarter, with the company delivering a 7-cent earnings beat off of a $3.34 basis, along with higher-than-expected revenue, driven in part by strong sales of Botox, but a lot of other good things, too. Sure, the stock jumped today, but I think it has a lot more room to run going into this merger with Pfizer. Don't take it from me, though. Let's check in with Brent Saunders, the bankable president and CEO of Allergan, find out more about his company's prospects as the Pfizer deal approaches. Mr. Saunders, welcome back to Mad Money. Good to see you, Brent. Have a seat.
Thank you for having me.
All right, now I'm going to just put it to you. This was by far the best quarter I've ever seen. You have. It was also the best quarter of any pharmaceutical company, biotech or drug. I mean, just in terms of the number of new approvals, just the strong leadership positions, what you're doing, the number of billion-dollar franchises. I have to tell you, I think your stock would be up more if you were not merging with Pfizer, and I'm trying to rationalize that.
Yeah, of course. It was a great quarter. The team performed exceptionally well. And keep in mind, we're divesting a business to Teva, and we're doing a pre-integration with Pfizer. Right. So despite those distractions, they delivered.
And that's why I thought I was so worried about a noisy quarter, Brent. I thought for sure that I wouldn't be able to understand this. This was your cleanest quarter of all the mergers you've done. This was the one that showed you in the central nervous system how you dominate. Women's health, you dominate. I've got to tell you, there's areas I didn't even know that, obviously aesthetics, but urology you're dominating. Irritable bowel. I mean, There's so much going on here. Is this the right time really to merge?
Well, I think it is. I think this industry is going through massive change, which requires massive consolidation. And I think this combination with Pfizer does create the world leader in biopharmaceuticals. And for an Allergan shareholder, owning 44% of this combined pro forma entity is the best position in my belief.
Okay, then you guys gave us an opening in the conference call. You said that both, well, Ian wasn't on the call, but the CEO of Pfizer and you are both baffled by where the stock is. And I'm baffled. You made it very clear that Teva's going to go through with this. It looks like that the inversion. I thought you ducked questions on both Teva and inversion. You didn't. You took them head on. And I felt so great about this. I said the gap, that maybe the 80-point gap, Brent, is going to close. But people are still fearful.
Right. It is baffling to me, and it's baffling to Ian Reid. In fact, I spoke to him today.
You did?
Yeah.
What did he say? What did he say?
He said he's as baffled as I am, and that wasn't the reason we were talking, but we brought that up. Look, I think there's just this anomaly in the market, and I'm confident, as probably you know better than I, the market will correct over time, and it will become right at some point. But it's a great opportunity for anybody interested in either of these two companies to get in.
And the $40 billion that you hope to get, maybe it's April, maybe the time frame could be April, May?
Yeah, I think we're still optimistic for end of the quarter, but it could slip into the first part of second quarter. Okay. So it could be April, but if Teva's controlling that show, but they're doing a great job and they're working incredibly hard.
Okay, let's talk about the company as if it were not merging. Not that obviously this merging, I'm in favor of the merger, but pipeline milestones. I'm just going to give you a lightning round. Aesthetics.
Yeah, we have got a lot. We've got Kybella launching for submental fullness, and we have Botox for forehead lines, which I may need.
I don't think so. Botox, many new indications, but no mention of what they are.
Well, we did talk about forehead lines.
No, but
we've
sounds
got
like
crow's feet outside the U.S.
Okay.
And we've got depression still underway. But the data for the depression study is at best the end of the year, maybe first quarter next year.
Okay, because I was. There have been very many attempts to do depression, and a lot of them, even the best Alkermes recently failed. Right. How do you have any confidence in this one? It's been so hard.
We have a long history in depression, going back to Lexapro, right? We have Vibrid, we have Petsema, we have Vraylar. So we understand depression. If there ever was a company to do a drug like Botox in depression, we have that expertise in our regulatory and clinical development organization. But you got to let the studies play out and see where the data falls. We're optimistic, but it's a data-driven decision, and we'll see how the data reads out at the end of the year.
Gastroenterology, what have you got?
Well, we just got Vyberzi for IBS-D approved. We've got a drug called Relomorelin for diabetic gastroparesis. We get phase 2b data second half of the year. Potentially very exciting new treatment for a category or a disease that hasn't had a treatment in 30 years.
These were all breakthrough, which I thought was terrific. Now, we got to talk about election. I find that when Hillary Clinton tweeted about drugs, they still come back to you. Obviously, look, every company's had price increases, but when I look through these, this is breakthrough. I mean, witness the number of FDA approvals you had, the most, 10%. So I come back and say, Is this a stock you also think we have to keep watching whether Bernie Sanders does well so Hillary Clinton stays tough, even though she's received a huge amount of money from the drug companies?
Yeah, look, I think all the candidates, Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, Bernie Sanders, whoever it is, it's rhetoric, right? And we have to parse the rhetoric from the reality. I think going after an industry that comprises less than 10% of the total cost of healthcare, drug price increases are highly negotiated.
Right.
Drugs do save the system money. We have a drug, Dalavance, once a day antibiotic, once and done antibiotic. Used to be 10 days in the hospital on vancomycin. You're talking about a couple $1,000s versus. So we do things that really save the system money, that improves people's lives, and ultimately, many drugs now cure people. So going after the 10% that does so much good for society is really just rhetoric. It's a great talking point. We're a good whipping post. Unfortunately, that's the case because everybody in this industry comes to work every day trying to do good things for people.
Now, one last question. When I looked at the time frame, I know that Teva has to close, but it seemed like you laid out a pretty clear description of what the Treasury might want with these rules and how, if they haven't suggested this third course by now, you've got to be in pretty good shape.
We think we are. And look, we constructed this deal in a highly legal way, consulting the world's best advisors on how to do it. And we followed the law, right?
Right.
And the Treasury has issued 2 notices. We followed those. They're still promulgating those regulations. We believe that, and this is America, right? That once you follow the law, you should have some certainty. For them to come in and try to change this in the 9th inning seems a little unfair. But that being said, this deal will go through. I really
All right.
do
Well, terrific. Look, it was a great quarter. I think that the Pfizer merger is terrific. But this quarter alone would have propelled the stock substantially. That's Brent Saunders, the president and CEO of Allergan. All of it, it is the most transparent of the drug companies. Everything we talked about is right there in the filings. Mad Money's back in for the break. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.